Sadaşivasamaramam Shankaracharya-madhyamam Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guru-paramparam Dayakaram Dayakaram Dhantam Dharma-pravartakam Pranamami Dayanandam Madacharya-paramparam Om Bhadram Karunayati Shriyamadevaha Bhadram Pashyemakshaviryajatraha Sthirairangai Srushtuvam Sastanubhihi Yashemadiravitayarayuhu Swasti Nalindro Vridhashavaha Swasti Pusha Vishwavedaha Swasti Nastaksho Varishtanihi Swasti No Brihaspati Dadhavu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Vasuparna Seja Sakhaya Vasuparna Seja Sakhaya Saman Vrikshe Parishasvajate Saman Vrikshe Parishasvajate Tayoranyah Pippalam Swadvati Tayoranyah Pippalam Swadvati Anashnanyo Vichakashiti Anashnanyo Vichakashiti. So it is Samanam Vrikshe Samanam Vriksham Parishasva Jagate. Okay. So we started to look at this. What is that? This imagery of two birds, which is a way to understand this dual identity. And what is this dual identity? I feel I am the Sakshi. In some moments, the Sakshi is very clearly manifest in this chit, in this mind, and then I can go about my day unaffected by everything around me. And then the presence of this Sakshi, the witness, awareness, is often and frequently overpowered by what? Overpowered by the Jivatvam, Jivahood, Jivaness. The Jivaness overpowers the Sakshita, the ability to understand that I am Asanga, uninvolved and not enmeshed with anybody or anything. So the idea is for this knowledge to sink at the very level where one has a sinking feeling that I am not going to get this knowledge. That is where it has to manifest. What is that place of manifestation? Buddhi. In that very buddhi, there is duality has to be resolved. And so first the duality is presented in verse number 1 and 2. First the duality is presented in verse number 1 of the third Mundaka, first Khanda. And then in the second verse, what happens as a result of this duality is talked about. And then how to get out of it in the latter part of the second mantra and in the third mantra, how to completely come out of this this dual consciousness, so to speak, and this dual the ahankara that is attached to the body mind sense complex, clinging to the body mind sense complex, and the chit, which is Ishvara, which is also clinging to the same body mind sense complex. There is not enough room for two people. Two is a crowd. Sometimes we say what? Two is company, three is a crowd. But here, two itself is too much. Two is a crowd. So how many should there be? One and only. How to get from two to one? Simple. Vedantic mathematics. Yeah. What is Vedantic mathematics? The second one is seen as dependent on the first one. Then how many are there? One. Simple. You don't have to eliminate the second one. The second one is glorious in its own way. If it is seen as dependent on the first one. First, let us be very clear. What is the first one? Ishvara. What is the second one? Ahankara, Jiva. Ahankara, Upadita, Chaitanya. The Ahankara is that which has Ahankara is the Upadi for itself. That is Ahankara, Upadita, Chaitanya. And then, so therefore, so this Ahankara, the one that is got this small territory of this body, mind, sense complex is like a dog. Keeps growling, keeps becoming territorial, and then it's all going here, going there, all these kind of thing. And then the one that is still, that one does not undergo any change, is the glorious Ishvara that I have to see, that I have to internalize as myself. And the ahankara is also attached to various raga dveshas, and that also is completely overridden, suspended at first, and then with all the work of, what is that called, karma yoga, nididhyasana, upasana, etc., that also is reduced completely or reduced completely, and so one is not under the spell of strong prejudices and preferences. So this is, so the first one presents the imagery of what it feels like to be in this body. So it is as though two birds are there with shining wings. And shining wings means what? They are similar. They come from the same, they have the same origins. Shining wings is self-luminous consciousness. Consciousness that doesn't have to be lit up. Iridescent wings that shine. And then, so two birds are there. And what are they doing? Clinging. Clinging to what? Then, they are clinging to the same tree. Samanam Vriksham. Same tree, they are clinging. And then what are then what else do we know about the two birds? They are Suparnau, shining wings, and then Sayujau. Sayujau means they are coming from the same place. They are united with one another. They don't have discrete origins. And then Sakhayau. They are the greatest of friends. So Suparna, Sayuja, Sakhaya, etc. is what is that? Chandasam. Suparnau, Sayujau, Sakhayau. It has to be converted to, for our understanding, Dvau. Dvau, Suparnau, Sayujau, Sakhayau. And then Samanam Vrikshe, clinging to the same tree. What do? They cling to the same tree. And what is this tree? The Shariram. The human body is the tree. Why? Adi Shankara doesn't have a problem answering the question why. Why is the body compared to the tree? Vrashchanat. Oh, Vrashchu means to fell, to cut with an axe. Vrashchati, sixth conjugation. So, Vrashchati, and then so here, So then basically, Vrashtati, Vrashtanat, because of it being subject to falling, the body is compared to the tree. Both are anitya. The tree, by these corporate developers and all, they come and cut down the tree and put one cement, concrete building all over the world. This is happening. Cement jungle we have. And then what happens to the body? Yama comes with an axe. In all these imaginations, Yama comes with a sickle or an axe and then cuts the body and takes away the jiva. For what? Recycling. Okay. Yama is very environmentally conscious and puts the jiva in another body, same jiva. And so therefore, the samsara continues. Both are felt. Both are clinging to the same body, and that body is subject to destruction. And then now we come to the differences. Up till now, the birds were same origin, same shine, same luminosity, and then same friendship, same clinging to this body, as it were. And now the differences. So, tayoho anyaha must be seen as ekaha. Anyaha means different, but actually here it means out of the two, the one out of the two, the first one, what is it doing? It is restless. It has various pursuits. It is berry hunting. And it is going from branch to branch in search of what? Sweet berries. What does it get? Rotten berries. Because of its prarabdha. Then once in a while it will taste a little bit of a sweet berry, and then later on what will happen? Rotten berry, rotten berry, rotten berry. Then again little bit sweet berry, but then because of this, what is that called? Intermittent rewarding. This is how people are hooked to lottery and all these things. And what is that they play? That slot machine, all these things. People are addicted. Because if you just play the lottery and nobody gets anything anytime, then everybody will stop buying the ticket. Nobody will buy the ticket. But you read in the paper, so and so with a big check, in the whole family holding that check, bigger than all of them, and then they bought this mega multi-million jackpot. And then you play lottery. You play United Kingdom, Uttarakhand. Local UK. Right? They are doing this now. And then they are writing made in the UK. It just means Uttarakhand. Okay? Yeah, very clever our people are. So this Uttarakhand state lottery is what? It's just burgeoning. It has become more and more and more. And then what happened? Suddenly somebody got. And that person has nothing to do with you. You see that and you get very excited and you start buying more lotteries. What is that got to do with you? Somebody somewhere got it. That means what? I will also get it. So this intermittent rewarding psychology is the psychology of how people are kept addicted to something. And they learned it all from Bhagavan. Bhagavan also keeps the jiva going by what? Intermittent sweet berry karma phala. Yeah. Little bit sweetness, ooh, I suddenly feel like living again, give me, what else is going to happen? Then I say, yay! And then I have a cat, just to explain it. After this, go to all the students and say, we have cream, I want to put some flour. This is what happens. So the sweet karma phala, the sweet berries, keep us addicted to this body. To the body means body, mind, sense complex, Palakshana. Keep us addicted to the participating in this samsara repeatedly for the anticipation of getting more beautiful, firm, sweet, tasty. Swadu means tasty. Tasty fruits. Swadu Pippalam. Pippalam means berries of the people tree. People tree means don't look for a tree with people on it. Okay? Now, Ashwatha. Yeah, Ashwatha. Ashwatha means this right next to our Samadhi Mandir, Adhisthana, we have that. People tree. And then that tree is called Ficus religiosa. That is only because in India it is considered religious, nowhere else in the world. So what is that tree? That tree is considered to be very holy, and then it has its derivation. Ashwatha, Shvaha, Nadishtati. It will not be there tomorrow. Shvaha means tomorrow. Shvaha, Nadishtati Nava. Whether it will be there tomorrow, big doubt. Therefore, it is called Ashwatha. So this Ashwatha tree becomes the founder for experiences. This is the Kshetra, the field where all the Karmaphala experiences take place. Both the sweet ones, bitter ones, sweet and sad ones, and all that. You know, rotten experiences, all of them take place in this body, mind, sense complex. And then what happens? Then we have the this one bird represented by, which is the Upalakshana for Ahankara. So the Ahankara identified bird means the bird that is identified with this body, mind, sense complex seeks to better its lot by engaging in action and thinking of itself wrongly as the producer of the what? Results. But we know from the Bhagavad Gita, Karmani eva adhikarhate ma phaleshu tadachata. You have the right over action, but you are not in charge of producing the results thereof. The results come from Bhagavan. The results do not come from you. You are not the producer of the results. You think you are the producer of results. So the first bird who think has not attended Mundaka class. So therefore it thinks of itself as the producer of the results of action, and wanting sweet berries, flies till it is exhausted. It is exhausted. And then it unites with the other bird. Then in the state of Sushupti. Everyone is one with Ishvara in the state of Sushupti. No duality, no problem. That's why sleep state for you will never cause a problem. For other people, however, may cause a problem if you have sound sleep. So, but for you, sleep state is not a problem. Sleep state is moksha, because you are one with Ishvara. The prajna, prakashena agyaha, the one who doesn't know anything, is one with Ishvara, united with Ishvara. So if this first bird who is restless and going about trying to get the fruits of action, then is tired and comes to a place of rest. And even though it is free, it still flies away and then comes back to roost in the same tree. That is what is done. It does. And the similar Drishtanta is given in the Chandogya Upanishad, where a bird is tied to a pole. First it tries to escape the pole, flutter, and then exhausted it comes back to roost and on the same pole. So here also, in the sleep state, there are no two birds. How many birds are there? One bird, because the Ahankara resolves in Ishvara. And similarly, in moments of happiness, not knowing that I'm not the producer of happiness, I'm not understanding that one still becomes one with, quote unquote, not that one is ever separate, one becomes, so to speak, one with Ishvara. You're suddenly going for a walk, you see the fog on the Ganga and the foggy mountains. Even though you don't want a smile crosses the lips. And then you see the mountains and then you smile. You see a small child, it smiles and you smile back. No reason to be happy, but then there is that happiness is there. And so in those moments also, how many birds are there? One bird alone is there. But those moments are at best accidental. And so therefore usually how many birds are there? 2 birds are there. Ajnani bird is first one. And so Swadu Pippalam Atti, Pippalam Swadu Atti. You take it both ways. So it can either be an adjective or an adverb. Tasty, it eats the tasty fruit, or tastily, it eats the fruits. So like this we can take it. And then what does meanwhile this bird, we have got the whole biography of this bird. What is the other bird doing? Anashnan means not eating. Anashnan is continuous, present participle. Anashnan, not eating. Ashnan, eating. Anashnan, not eating. What does it do? Abhijakashiti. So Abhijakashiti means keeps on looking. Chakastra, Deeptau. First conjugation. So to shine. To be luminous, to shine. That is the root for the common word, prakasha. So pra plus kasha. Abhi here, abhi plus kasha. Plus a derivation that is called young look. What is young look? Right now we can't go into that, but it is a frequentative intensive usage without the pratyaya ya, where the ya is dropped. So for right now you can just say this dhatu has a young look. Okay, it looks very young. You can think of it that way. Don't worry about the details. So it has 2 forms, chakashti or abhijakashiti. Okay, so this is the, so that means what? Intensively, frequently means all the time, intensively it is looking. It's like you have gone to a restaurant to eat, and then somebody comes and is keeping on staring, following the food from the plate to the mouth. Yeah. And this gives rise to various philosophies, because the first bird is what? Isha bird, and then Ishvara is looking, watch out. Ishvara is looking each time you eat, from the plate to the mouth, keeping on looking, making the jiva uncomfortable. But then why is it looking? What is the role of this bird? It doesn't have any role, simply making the other bird uncomfortable, and can't even eat in peace. This one keeps on looking. You got those berries? Oh, too bad you have gotten. Oh, you got those. Oh, another bird had already eaten that and it was just dry. Too bad. So it is just looking and watching and eating. And what kind of a bird is this? But see, the thing is, it is not watching as a verb. Its nature is that of watching and revealing. Like the sun. The sun, we say, Sarvalokasya Chakshuhu. It is the eye of the world, but it is not watching. Correct? It is not a verb. The sun is shining. Although to shine is a verb, it is not really a verb here, because its nature is to shine. And so too, the second bird, so Anyaha Anashnan Abhijakashiti bird, that bird which keeps on watching, keeps on lighting up. Its nature is to watch. Its nature is Alupta Drik. So Alupta Driktvam is there for it. Alupta Driktaya. Because of it being the one which is universal Sakshi. It is the universal Sakshi. So the Sakshi is witness without witnessing anything, without actually taking the trouble to be the witness. Most witnesses are like that. You are called into court. Why? Not because you are planning to watch. What happened? You happened to be a bystander and you saw 2 cars collide. And then when the police come, you volunteer the information, it was the blue car's fault, not the red car's fault. Why? I saw it with my own eyes, officer. You will tell a police officer who comes to the scene, you will say that I watched this. Were you planning to watch an accident? Who wants to see an accident? Nobody. But you were happening to walk that side, you were happening to just standing there or walking there, and you happened to see. So in the same way here, the witnessing of the second bird is not an action, it is its very Swarupa. Atma Swarupa is Sarva Sakshi, the Sakshi of everything. It is Atma Swarupa, it is Ishvara Swarupa also. This Sakshi resolves in Ishvara. When there is nothing to witness, what is the truth of the Sakshi? Ishvara. But for now Sakshi, because this is a very important clue how to get out of this. What is the important clue? The important clue how to get out of this is very simple. It's the ability to identify with the Sakshi as it obtains in the body-mind-sense complex when, as much as possible, preferably all the time. When you can do this all the time, it is called Jnana Nishtha. You lose yourself. And sometimes you lose yourself. So this is the clue here is very clear. Just what you do in sleep and moments of unfettered happiness, same thing you do all the time. You disappear into so to speak, this querulous complaining bird, the bird that says no berry is tasty and I just cannot handle it. Okay, leave. I can't leave this body. I'm too much attached to this body. I can't leave. I don't know how to leave. Okay, stay and be happy. What do you mean stay and be happy? Have you noticed how overcrowded this tree is? And then there is no population control and there are so many people, so many things. How can I be happy? I need space. Okay, go away. Go away to some Himalayan tree and then go there and meditate. I can't do that. What will I do? What will I do with all my obligations? I'm doing important things in my life. This is what it is. And so, neither can go, nor can stay, nor is happy with its lot, nor can it do anything to improve its lot. So it is in a permanently querulous, complaining mode. Because it has lots of questions. Why me? Why not that person? Why this kind of karmapala for me? Why I am only singled out? Why I am only having rotten berries? See, that bird is having sweet berries. Always this comparison is going on. The other tree is nicer. Another body is nicer. Another lot, karmapala lot is nicer. Always this comparison is going on. And so, for this jealous bird, for this angry bird, for this sad bird, there is no other recourse except to see itself as the first bird. To identify completely with the first bird. That is the only recourse. There is no other recourse. The ahankara has to resolve in sakshini, in the sakshi. The ahankara has to resolve. What does it mean to resolve? Same thing that you do in sleep. You falsify this body-mind-sense complex and you enter into the world of what? Ishvara. That's what it is. That is you. And even while awake, in between two desires, what is there? Calmness, shanti. That shanti vritti, that shanti is nothing but Ishvara. So the resolution of the ahankara into Ishvara means recalling everything about Atma Tattva that we have studied so thus far. Meaning what? I am not the body-mind-sense complex. I am not this ahankara. I am not my feelings. I am not my impressions. I am not my vasanas. I am not my sanskaras. Finally, I am not my raga, dvesha. I am not my desires. Then there is dissociation. I am not anything. Oh no. I am already disconnected from Ishvara. Now I am disconnected from the small little ahankara that I used to be. That is why it is very important to the negation has to be a strategic negation because what to identify with is right there in that same body mind sense complex as the truth of the jiva, as the truth of myself. So I, from the ahankara, identification with the ahankara, where do I go? Identify with the sakshi. That is all there is. Nothing else is there. And that sakshi becomes a stepping stone, upanakshana for Ishvara. If I am with the sakshi, I am safe because it's the manifestation of the Ishvara with regard to this whole universe. It's the manifest form of Ishvara with regard to this whole universe. And so I don't have to worry how to drop the sakshita, because when there is nothing to witness, one is Ishvara without any manifestation. So then this is the first mantra, and then Shankara has a very beautiful bhashya here, connecting this Mundaka to the previous ones. And any kind of a connective bhashya is beautifully for Adi Shankara, but this one is particularly beautiful because in 6 lines or less, he summarizes the whole thing that we have studied thus far. Very beautiful explanation, very beautiful introduction. Paravidya Tadaksharam Purushakhyam Satyam Adhigamyate. So, Ukta means, what is that? Past passive participle, has been told. Has been told. Ukta, feminine. Why? Because it is qualifying Vidya. What kind of Vidya? Para Vidya. Para Vidya Ukta. So the ultimate knowledge of what? Of that because of which there is no sorrow, that because of which I use this identification with the body mind sense complex as the only reality of myself, that Vidya has been talked about. And what is the phala of the Vidya? That is also mentioned. Yaya, by which, through which, because of which, what happens? That is Aksharam Brahma. Because of which this Brahman, which in this Mundaka Upanishad is known as what? Aksharam. So because of this Aksharam, and he says, Purushakhyam. Aksharam, don't think of it only as consciousness. What is that consciousness? Equipped with all knowledge. Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Ichha Shakti. So therefore it is Ishvara, Purushakhyam, Sarvan, Purayatiti, Purushakhyam. Akhyam means all from Khya. Okay? Second conjugation, Khya. So therefore, Purushakhyam, that which is known as Purusha, Aksharam, Purusham, that Vidya was already taught. And what is its phala? Its phala is what? Its phala is Satyam Adhigamyate, by which Yaya Adhigamyate, passive construction. In English, we say passive construction is weak. When we are writing essays in elementary school, middle school, we are told, say, I did this. Don't use passive voice, it's weak. Here in Sanskrit, it's the opposite. Passive voice is very strong because it shows knowledge happens. And here, Yaya Satyam Adhigamyate, by which the Satya, that which is the truth of myself, of the universe, and of Ishvara is well known, understood. So from identification with the subjective reality, I appreciate the empirical reality as a manifestation of Bhagavan, and when I do that, I'm poised to see myself as the ultimate reality, as one with Ishvara. And so, Yaya Tadaksharam Adhigamyate, immediately he remembers 115. which is the mantra in the, so he is summarizing everything studied so far. So 115, yaya sapara yaya tadaksharam adhigamyate. He remembers. And then what? Then he also remembers one more verse. What is that other verse? The verse that comes directly after, what is that called? The famous verse, Parikshya Lokan Karmachita. What is that comes? Tasmai sa vidvan upasannamaya samyaka prashanta chittaya something shamanvaya yenaksharam purusham. That purusham is purushakyam. So you see how in half a sentence he has gone from 115 to 1 to 13. Amazing. Amazing range, amazing recall, and absolutely pertinent here. Purushakhyam here, that yena aksharam purusham veda, by which that purusha is known. And then what all has been brought? So the adhikara ritual has been brought out. Prashanta chittaya, unto the one who is well composed. Mentally, not given to outbursts, whose emotions are well regulated, not for the one with dysregulated emotions. And then Shamanvidaya, blessed by Shama, etc. And then who will teach? The Vidvan will teach. Who is that Vidvan? Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam, that was the Shrotriya Brahmanishta from previous verse. So the teacher is brought in. How the knowledge is got is brought in. What is the knowledge is also brought in this one line. And then what is the phala of this knowledge is samsara nivritti. That is also brought in. Imagine how he can do this. It's just a feat, a magical feat. So this knowing the absolute, I become absolutely free of samsara. Satyam adhigamyate. And then what else? Next one. Yad adhikame hridaya granthyadi samsara karanasya atyantika vinashah. That means we become what? Atyantika vinashah. Because of which knowledge? Adhikame. So, because of internalizing which knowledge, what happens? The cause of samsara explained in the form of the knot in the heart. Which mantra is he recalling? Vidyate Hridaya Granthi. And even the one before that. Even the one after that. What is that one? No, even the one before that. Before that, Avidya Granthim Vikirati Iha Somya 2:110. And then 2:8. Both of them and everything that comes between 2:110 and 2:8 is encompassed in this second line, in this second sentence. So Adi means that the all this samshaya viparyaya vidyate hridaya grantihi chidyante sarva samshayaha kshiyante cha asya karmani tasmin drishte paravare. Famous verse he recalls. So yat adhikame, knowing which, understanding, internalizing which, hridaya granthi adi, in the form of this heart knot, in the form of adhipatat samshaya, and all the karma phalas, suffering from being a karta bhokta. So which is what? All together is the samsara karana. So that's here, samsara karanasya, this cause of samsara is because of avidya, kama, karma, karmaphala, shrinkhala. Avidya, kama, karma, shrinkhala. Because of this shrinkhala, the unending chain of self-ignorance, which leads one to have various desires, and because there is a sense of lack, and to fulfill the sense of lack, there is action, karma, and then because of that, there is karma phala. What kind of karma phala? Unwanted karma phala, bitter fruits. So all this constitutes samsara, and the karana of samsara is this hridaya granthi in the form of avidyadi. And then tasya atyantika vinasha, not perennial nasha. Perennial means it's gone for this year, like jamun fruits, it will come back next year. No, not perennial. Perennial year, no. Atyantika means extreme, complete. Why? Because the cause has been felt. The cause gone, the results cannot exist without the cause. So the cause in the form of self-ignorance is taken care of when the results have no basis at all. Results have absolutely no basis. And so Adyantika Vinashaha Syat. So 2 more mantras, and everything, all the mantras that span between them, he has recalled. And then, so in other words, what do these 2 sentences convey? That this knowledge has been given in full, what this knowledge is has been told, how to gain it has been told, and then what it does means Adyantika Samsara Vritti, all this has been told. And then how to internalize this knowledge, that also has been told. Tad darshana, upayascha, yogaha, dhanuradi, upadana kalpanaya, uttaha. He's just recalling everything for us, so we don't have to go back. Beautiful. So, the method for internalizing this knowledge in the form of vididhyasana, tad darshana upaya. Upaya here is the method. What is that? Tad darshanartham atmavare drashtavyaha. Darshanartham kim kartavyam vididhyasitavyaha. That one we have to take. So vididhyasana, this vididhyasana meaning the recalling of the words of the Upanishad repeatedly and applying it to myself. That is what was talked about in the form of the beautiful example. What was the example? Dhanuradi upadana kalpanaya. So the example here, image, the imagery, kalpanaya. Through the imagery, the archery example was given. What is that mantra? 2, 2, 3. 2 to 3, okay? 2 to 3, the Pranamaha, Dhanuhu, etc., and the one before that also, that how that one must see the body as the arrow and Brahman as the target. And what is the goal? Omkara Upasana or Omkara Lakshyartha Vididhyasana. So that vididhyasana alone here will make this knowledge which has been taught by the Upanishad firm. Why? Because it will remove useless pratibandhas such as viparita bhavana. It will remove viparita bhavana. So the vididhyasana was told. Vididhyasana was told, upaya was given, and then so this is a alambana not for upasana but vididhyasana, for vichara. So how to do this inquiry was also told. Now what is left to be told? He is going to talk about that in the next line. Atha idanim tat sahakarini satyadi sadhanani vattavyani. So now what it remains to be told, he says all this has been summarized. So the whole, whatever we have studied, the whole 2 khandas, he has summarized it 5 mantras, recalling these 5 mantras, talking about the problem, the fundamental problem of avidya, how to overcome this avidya, and why paravidya. What is this paravidya? The paravidya is the truth of oneself that is gained through the exposure of for this knowledge alone, not any other manner. And then the phala of the paravidya, which is in the form of samsara nasha, was also given. And in case you didn't get it, some other upaya for further vichara in the form of the archery example has also been given. What's missing, folks? What is missing over here? What is missing is Bahiranga Sadhana. This is what he is going to tell you. So this is what he has said. So Vaktavyani. Satyani Sadhanani Vaktavyani. Athaidani. Let's just take it like this. Athaidani Vaktavyani. Now something has to be told. What has to be told? Satyani Sadhanani. It is not sadhana or satya. It is sadhana in the form of satya bhashanam. So satyadi sadhanani vaktavyani. So now we have to see some sadhanas like the value for being in truth. Because you see, if one is constantly telling lies, what happens? One knows, see, if you tell a lie without knowing that it's a lie, then it's not a lie. Okay? You are just misinformed. Okay? But if you know it's a lie and you tell a lie, there is that split between the Jiva and Ishvara within, between the Karta and the Pramata. The knower knows I am not in truth, but still tells the falsehood. Correct? So the doer, the doer is separate from the knower. The doer-knower split causes a great turmoil inside. That's why whenever there is a lie told, there is great agony because one doesn't want to do this. Not that one is a great dharmic person, no, but one is wanting to be one with oneself. One doesn't like this split. So dharma comes naturally to the person. Dharma can be taught in Bala Vihars as children, Sunday school, etc. But it is just all those schools are reiterating what is natural. Even if a 2-year-old child is told, do not take one more cookie. Enough for today. Mother goes out. What does it do? Puts the hand in the bottle or the jar. Mother comes back and it is trying to get the hand out. Cookie is still in the hand, so the hand is not coming out. It will look guilty. It will definitely look guilty. Nobody gave it some lesson on dharma. Nobody said, thou shalt not lie. Nobody gave it some commandment. But it knows. It knows. People who have dogs tell me, my dog also looks guilty. Yes, I don't know about that. Maybe it does. Or maybe they are anthropomorphizing the dog. Maybe it looks guilty. And then, but cats not so much. They sit here, knock this off and look and say, but, you want me to do it again? Happy to oblige. Knock off one more thing. But dog, they say, may have a conscience. We don't know. But this conscience is what? Is dharma, is the manifestation of Ishvara within. So Satya Bhashanam becomes a very important sadhana. What kind of sadhana? Bahiranga sadhana. Even though it's all internal, it comes out as Bahiranga because other people are affected. If I tell untruths, other people are affected. So therefore it is Bahiranga sadhana. And so this Bahiranga sadhanani means other sadhanas are also there. Vaktavyani. So for those who may be thinking that this sadhana is like baby sadhana. It's gu gaga, baby vedanta talk. What is there to talk about this kind of sadhana? In fact, it should come before the knowledge. So here we are putting the cart somewhere else. So the horse is somewhere else. We are putting it in the wrong order. The knowledge has come and now the sadhana is coming. This is not objection. This is not correct. For the silent Purva Pakshi, we have an answer. But we just look at other Shrutis which follow the same model. What other Shruti? Kelo Upanishad. The whole Upanishad has been taught, and there is one student who says, what? Upanishadam bho bruhi. Oh, revered teacher, please teach me the Upanishad. What would any teacher have done? What? Were you sleeping? Yeah. Not this teacher. This is how we learn how to be compassionate from the teachers in the Upanishad alone. We can learn, they are our models. And so the teacher very sweetly says, Ukta te Upanishad Brahmin Yoga. This Upanishad connected to Brahman was already told to you. But now I will give you, but she doesn't want, the teacher in the Upanishad doesn't want the student to feel bad. Oh my God, everybody got it. What was I doing? I was not asleep, I was listening, but nothing has gone. The boomerang has taken place. It has no idea that here from the same year it went back to the teacher. I know what to do. I am terrible. Everybody else is so much clever. They are better adhikaris than me. Because already, see, you come to the ashram to get over complexes. And you come over a new complex. What is the new complex? I am a bad qualifier. I have bad qualifications. I am a bad adhikari. Look around, everybody is understanding. Only I am not understanding. Whether it's in Vedanta class or in so, or in Sanskrit class, everybody feels somebody else is better than me. So the teacher here wants the student to get rid of the complex and says, what? I will tell you another Upanishad through which you can gain this Brahman. And here the Upanishad has double entendre, two meanings. First Upanishad we saw, Mundaka Bhashyam, everything we are seeing in the other classes, whatever you have seen. And so, so that which is Shad, that which destroys samsara, we saw that. That is one meaning of the word Upanishad. Another meaning is Rahasya, secret. So, the teacher takes the second meaning of the word Upanishad. This first Upanishad in the form of Paravidya, Brahmavidya has already been taught. In the Keno Upanishad, the teacher tells the student, now I am going to tell you what? The secret. And the student, oh, secret just for me. Oh, OMG, this is wonderful. I am going to get a secret. And then what is that secret? Vahiranga Sadhana. Where the Shruti Mata is seen as a goddess. And then so the whole thing, this is her head. So this is the upasana. The upasana is important. And then what else? Karma iti pratishtha. Vedaha sarvangani. Tasyaiva tapodamaha. Karma iti pratishtha. Vedaha sarvangani. Satyam ayatanam. She is standing on a pedestal, which is Satyam, Satyabhashanam. This is the goddess, Shruti goddess, which is she who is established on a pedestal. What is that pedestal? Truth telling is the pedestal. She is wearing earrings, tapas and dama, tamashama. All these are her ornaments. And then Karma Yoga and Satyabhashanam are the pedestals upon which she is standing. So you see, there is a pratha, there is a custom in every Upanishad that first it is given and then the teacher looks around to see who has understood. If they are not understanding, then more kinds of sadhanas are given to help, internalize this teaching. So here also, this the values that are going to come, and the second way in which this is going to be talked about is all justified. So satyadi sadhanani bhaktavyani. What are they? Tat means that which is this Brahman internalization, sahakarini, that which are a inextricable companion to internalizing this knowledge. Our value system, how we present ourselves, how we behave ourselves, how we grow into every day, into being more accommodative, more compassionate, more enveloping and embracing everything and everybody in the universe. Doing that. And so therefore, this is the understanding that is to be told now. Idani, this is going to be told. And iti means because. Okay, iti hetoho, because. So for this reason, what? Tadartham, for this reason, for this purpose, artham here is purpose. For this purpose, Uttara Grantha Arambha, Uttara Grantha Arambha Pradhanyena. So the primary reason for beginning these two khandas are Pradhanyena means primarily, Pradhanyena. So the primary reason for beginning these two khandas are what? In order to better assimilate this knowledge with the help of more sadhanas, so that one can gain the adhikaritvam or one can fill up the gaps in the adhikaritvam that one sees within oneself. Tadartham pradhanyena. So with the mukhyartha, the mukhya purpose is to do this. One more purpose is there. What is that purpose? We will see at 9:30. Next class is at 9:30. Om Purnamadaഃ Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Hari Om.